This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So we were talking about configuration related to furniture yesterday, and we took one example yesterday for furniture purchase from a supplier Bantia Furniture on 5th June 2023 for 60,000 INR, and we calculated depreciation figures for first year, second year, third year according to two accounting principles. Correct? Now our target is to configure this in the system and bring the same figures from the system. In order to achieve it, whatever we need to do, let us try to understand from now on. Now, configuration that we are doing is not generic. We are going to configure only with respect to furnitures from now. After that, I'll do another set of configuration for different asset class, and then I'll give you different assignments which you will have to perform to understand, to ensure that you are clear and conceptually no confusion with asset accounting. Now, yesterday we were talking about the GL accounts. We need these GL accounts to be created before we proceed to the next setting. Now, let me open asset accounting configuration. There is one dedicated transaction to define all your asset accounting config, which is ORFA. If you go to ORFA, this will display only the configuration related to asset accounting in SAP. In this, so far whatever we have done is only from the organizational structure. From organizational structure, what we did is we created chart of depreciation, we created depreciation areas, we have defined zero tax codes, we have made additional currency related settings, and then we have assigned our chart of depreciation to our company code. Now everybody is able to create your chart of depreciation with 6 depreciation areas, and you're able to assign your chart of depreciation to your company code. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So no doubts, no confusions in this. You're not getting any errors. Even if you get any error, you must be in a position to solve your error. You need to understand why you're receiving that error and what went wrong, how you need to fix that error. Once that is done, let us try to define the further settings from now on. But before we define further settings, let's ensure that when you're doing the configuration on the asset accounting through IMG path, always remember you will be using ORFA transaction. In this, you will have to understand the sequence of your different nodes. First one, what we did was organizational structure. Let's open organizational structure. In this, the initial settings is what we have done. Next one is your asset classes. Next setting that we need to define in your asset accounting config is asset classes. Let me copy this asset class heading. I'll put this here. Okay, now we are trying to define the settings related to asset class. Asset class is nothing but nature of asset classification. This asset classification, nature of asset, is given to you by your client. They'll tell we are going to have this many type of assets like furniture, fixtures, land, building, plant, machinery, motor cars, softwares, vehicles and on. You need to look at the number of classes that they have. Accordingly, you are going to decide what is your number of asset classes, whether you are going to have one asset class, 2, 3 or 10, 8, 7, depending on the business process followed by your client. You are going to decide how many asset classes you are going to have. But at any given point of time, make sure if somebody is asking you about asset classes, immediately you will remember asset class is nothing but classification of asset or nature of asset. And if somebody is asking you how many asset classes you have created, make sure you are not blank. You get these kind of questions in your interviews. If you tell you did asset accounting configuration, you might get a question that how did you create or how many asset classes you have configured, right? So most of the people, those who have not actually worked, will be blank or will tell only one or two asset classes. So you should not tell in such a way wherein the other person is able to identify. You are not confident, you are not clear. Somebody is asking, go in a flow, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, motor vehicles, softwares and licenses, something like that. At least 6 to 7 asset classes at any given point of time are on your fingertips. Okay, how you will do, what you will do inside the system, nobody cares in your interview. But on your interview, make sure when somebody is asking you a question, you are able to answer it without any hesitation, without any confusion. Now I'm writing only one asset class as of now, which is your furniture and fittings. We are going to define asset classes, furniture and fittings. If you go to SAP, you have asset classes. Inside the asset class, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. The last one we will not be using. There are 4 steps. Where is your asset class? Is it on the first position or on the fourth position?
First position.
It is on the fourth position, which means before you create asset class, there are prerequisites. Before you create asset class, there are prerequisites. If I am asking you in your interview, how will you create the asset class? You cannot straight away create an asset class because your asset class contains certain prerequisites. Those prerequisites are those 3 settings which are above your asset class. One is your account determination, second one is screen layout rule, third one is number range interval. Without these 3 things, we cannot create asset class. If somebody is asking you how do you create asset class, always make sure you talk about these 3 settings. Account determination, screen layout rule and a number range interval is a prerequisite before creating an asset class. Now let me put these 3 settings here. Account determination, next one screen layout rule, next one number range interval, and finally asset classes. The above 3 are prerequisites for asset class creation in SAP. The above 3 settings are prerequisites for asset class creation in SAP. People will specifically put this question to check whether you are talking about these 3 settings or not. First one that you need to do is account determination. The moment you listen to the term called account determination, this is straight away related to GL account mapping. Anywhere you are talking about a GL account mapping in the backend or in the background, we will be using account determination terminology. This is common terminology in your SAP wherever you are bringing the GL account automatically from backend. Those are your account determination setting. In your asset accounting, how you want to pull or how you want system to take the GL account. Now all your GL accounts are taken based on the account determination. Before you create account determination, first you need to understand which asset class are we creating. Currently we are creating furniture and fittings. Relating to furniture and fitting, what all the GL accounts that are needed and how we are creating these GL accounts in the account determination we need to understand. In short, yesterday's session we understood there are 8 GL accounts that are needed in the beginning for any asset class or for any asset. These GL accounts, how you want to connect to your asset. The GL accounts are connected to your asset based on the account determination. If you do not have the account determination, it is not possible to maintain GL accounts for asset accounting in SAP. Now, when you are creating account determination, make sure you have the naming convention predefined. when you're talking about a naming convention, when you go to asset accounting config for account determination, how you want to identify this account determination for furniture. Before you decide this, you need to decide how you are going to identify your furniture and fittings. Okay, so what I'll do first, let me open this account determination setting. Let me click on the first icon. I'll click on new entries. I'll try to check how many digits I'm able to pass this. How many digits? I'm able to put 8 digits, which means your account determination is 8-digit alphanumeric code. Go back, cancel yes, and again let me open this asset classes. If I open asset class, let me click on new entry. Let me verify how many digits I am able to take this here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is also 8 digits alphanumeric code. Now here what we need to do, you need to maintain a number or a series or a sequence which is common between your asset class and account determination. It is not recommended your account determination code is different, your asset class code is different. That is not recommended. If your account determination code is 11110, your asset class should also be 110. So that way you need to make sure the asset class and account determination codes are unique. Codes are same or similar. Now if you see, you're on the asset class creation screen. In the asset class creation screen, you are able to see account determination, screen layout rule, number range. Do you find these three as mandatory fields? Correct?
Yes.
Account determination is mandatory to create asset class. Screen layout rule is mandatory. Similarly, number range is mandatory. That is why we have listed the above three settings are prerequisites for asset class creation in SAP. Now we understood this is 8-digit alphanumeric character. How you want to define this 8-digit is what you need to decide. So currently if you see how many digits are used, 1 2 3 4 5 6, because your asset class is client specific, you need to ensure the availability of the numbers. When you are in a project, no other settings will be there. Whatever the naming convention that you want, you can use it. But when you are practicing, make sure the available naming convention is what you are going to prefer. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 digits are already used. 1 2 3 4 5 digit is also already used. So what I will do is, I'll use a 6-digit only, but first digit I am going to put an alphabet. I'll put alphabet at the beginning. I'll try to use a different 6-digit code, because normally even in real time we will be using 6-digit code or 6-digit length account determinations, 6-digit length asset classes. Let's go to account determination. Click on new entry. I'll put our company code currently which we are defining is DEIN. Okay, I'll put D here, followed by one series I am going to take 1 1 2 3 4. Okay, it has become 6 digits now, 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'll put DEIN followed by furniture and fittings or furniture and fixtures. Clear? This code and the description is maintained in your KDS document when you are implementing any project. Not something that you will think when you are configuring it. These are predefined, pre-agreed by the client, and these are documented in a KDS document. Based on the KDS document, you are going to update on your SAP. Click on save. Account determination is this for our furniture. Copy this. This is your account determination. D 1000, sorry, D 10,000. Next one, go back. After account determination, you have something called screen layout rule. This screen layout rule is related to your asset master data. Whenever you create any asset master record, how do you want to maintain your screen layout rules? Like which field you want to display, which field you want to make it mandatory, which field you want to suppress. These kind of things are monitored in asset screen layout rule. For everything, you need to create one screen layout rule. You can create common screen layout rule for all the asset classes, or you can create different screen layout rule based on the different asset classes. Currently, let us create a new one related to our asset class. Click on new entries. Now, if you see here, do you have new entry option?
No.
You do not have a new entry option, which means the screen layout rule cannot be created on your own. You must create your own entry by copying from existing entry. Here, SAP will provide you predefined or standard screen layout rule for every asset class. Now, we are talking about furniture and fixture. I'll copy from this furniture and fixture 104. Click on copy. It's a 4-digit code 1234, only 4 digits. I'll put D followed by 1000, D100, and in the description I'll put DEIN representing our company code furniture and fixtures. Clear? Nothing is given inside, just a code and then the description. Proceed to save this. Enter, go back, and the last one is number range interval. How you want to decide your asset naming convention or asset numbers, whether you want to create 6-digit number for asset, 4-digit number for asset, or 8-digit 10-digit number for asset. Ideally, we will be proceeding with 6-digit number or 8-digit number for asset. So let us create asset number with 6 digits only. Put your company code here, DEIN, and then click on edit intervals or change intervals here. After this, put number range. Make sure here also you follow a sequence, a logic. Currently, for the furniture and fixture, we have decided D1 all zeros. I'll put D1 here. And this one I want to identify with 1 series. I'll put 1. We are going ahead with a 6-digit number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has become 6-digit, and then I'll put 1 followed by 5 nines. Clear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digit. Enter and then save it. When you create the asset master under furniture and fixture, this is the numbering sequence for furniture asset masters. Go back. Now we have created account determination, screen layout rule, and then asset and then number ranges. After creating these 3 settings, now you can create your asset classes. Click on asset classes, add a new entry. Same thing. This is a 6-digit. I'll put D followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll take the same code. I think 1 0 I put extra. Okay, D 10,000. I'll put DEIN furniture and fixtures. Short text, if you want anything you can put. I'll put DEIN furniture. Account determination we have already created. Same code as your asset class is your account determination. Screen layout rule we created a D100. Okay, next one, base unit. How if you want to measure this asset, how you are going to measure this asset? Is this in each, or is this in liters, or how you are going to measure the asset? Let's put EA here. Sorry, this is base unit is each. You are going to count the assets based on pieces, like each one asset, two asset, likewise. Number range we have created D1. Clear? Are these assignments clear, whatever we have created and whatever we are assigning here?
Sir, as far as the number range is concerned, in the real time, what we follow, do we create the number ranges for each asset classes, or single number is to be used by all asset classes?
For each asset class, there will be a different number range, because based on the asset number, you want to identify whether this is land, building, plant, machinery, motor vehicle, software license. Same like your GL number range or customer vendor, same logic. Like you
Understood, sir.
will have a different number range, right? For every classification, same logic.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay. And after this, you have one more point here, status of AUC. You have one asset class called as asset under construction, or CWIP, called as capital work in progress asset. Either asset under construction AUC or capital work in progress asset, CWIP or CWIP asset. Only for those assets you are going to select line item settlement. Otherwise, this is strictly no AUC, summary of management of AUC. Okay, AUC we will talk separately. As of now, apart from AUC, for everything this is no AUC. Only the 4 things that you are going to update even in your real environment configuration. Press enter and then click on save. Okay, now your asset class has been created. Clear? After creating this asset class, next thing that we need to do is go to integration with general ledger accounting. After asset class, go to integration with general ledger asset accounting. In this, you have an option called assign GL accounts. You have an option called assign GL accounts. Let me put this here. I'm not writing the configuration steps in detail. I will give this configuration steps as an activity, and then I want you to create the configuration document for asset accounting for your company code with your screenshots. In the same way, you are going to create the similar configuration document in any project that you work. So in that way, you are going to understand how documentation is made, how configuration documents are prepared by SAP FICO consultant. You're not going to refer the configuration document. Instead, you are going to prepare the configuration documents here. Clear? Assign GL accounts. If you go inside the assign GL accounts, it is asking you to input chart of depreciation. We know what is our chart of depreciation. We have created DEIN as the chart of depreciation. Put DEIN chart of depreciation, enter inside. Once you go inside, this is giving you chart of account which is assigned to your company code. Now what I have given in the initial screen, I have given chart of depreciation, but system is giving chart of account, correct? What we have given, chart of depreciation. What system is showing? Chart of account. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
How
sir.
did system come to know that this is your chart of account for your chart of depreciation? On what basis?
On the company code basis.
How did system figure out that? Based on the chart
Sir,
of
when we assign
depreciation?
the company code,
Right.
when
We have assigned chart of depreciation to your company code. Now, whatever the chart of depreciation you have given on the initial screen, if you go inside, that will ask only first time. Again, it will take the same screen, same chart of depreciation, which is recently used. The chart of depreciation that you have used, system will take to which company code this chart of depreciation is assigned. Now it will take that company code and it will check for this company code what is the chart of account assigned. Accordingly, it is bringing your chart of account here. Okay. Now against this chart of account, you will have to assign the GL account. For assigning a GL account in asset accounting, your key combination is chart of depreciation followed by chart of account, next account determination. In DEIN chart of depreciation, for DEGR chart of account, you have to select the respective account determination. Double click on this. If you double click on this, you have to see your chart of account here, and then from this list of the account determination, pick your account determination. Our account determination is what? D 10,000. Enter. Pick this account determination. You will find all the account determinations because this is client level setting. Anything which is client level setting, system will display all the records. Do not get confused. These things will happen only in the practice environment. In the real environment, you will find account determinations which are related to your client only. Unnecessary things will not be there in the real system. Clear? Don't think that the same way you will be able to see in the real environment. It is not the similar way. Unwanted things, practice related things will not be there. Select your account determination. Now you have three type of accounts. One is your balance sheet account. Second one is depreciation account. Third one is reserve related account. But out of these three, two are mandatory, which are your balance sheet and depreciation related. Select the account determination. Double click on balance sheet accounts. If you double click on balance sheet account, it is giving you two depreciation areas, area number 1 and area number 3. Correct? This is giving depreciation area 1, depreciation area 3. But how many depreciation areas we have created?
6.
We have created 6, but it is giving you only 2. Let us open our depreciation areas once again. I'll go to one more window. ORFA. General valuation is where you can find depreciation areas. Click on depreciation areas. Define depreciation areas. You have 6 depreciation areas, but system is showing only I think it is stuck. Out of 6, how many we are able to see on the screen?
2.
Only 2, right? I think my
Only leading ledger.
okay. You can see both side by side, right? If you look at the left hand side where you are able to maintain the account determination setting, system is displaying depreciation area 1, depreciation area 3. On the right hand side, if you look at the list of depreciation areas that we created, you are able to find 6, 1 to 6. Why system is picking only 2? It is going to give you the depreciation areas where there are postings. Wherever there are postings, only those posting related depreciation areas will reflect in your account determination setting. Otherwise, it will not come. If you look at this depreciation area 1 has a setting of area post in real time, correct? It has got
Yes.
area post in real time. One is appearing here. 2, area does not post. If there is no posting, there is no point of GL determination. Am I correct?
Correct, sir.
There is no posting, there is no point of GL account. You need GL account only if you are posting. 2 is not posting, so there is no GL posting, GL account determination. Similarly, 3 has got area post in real time. You are able to see 3 here, correct? Now 4, 5, 6 area does not post, so 4, 5, 6 is not appearing. Clear why only 2 out of 6 is appearing here?
Yes, sir.
Right, so you will be maintaining GL determination only for the areas which are posting real time. If the depreciation area is not posting in real time, there is no setting of GL determination. System will not allow you to maintain the GL accounts wherever you put the setting as area does not post. Now I'll come back, close this. Select area number 1, depreciation area 1, and you need to select balance sheet accounts, double click, or you select this, double click on area 1. If your double clicks are not working, select this, click on this detail option. Okay, you will get this screen opened up. Here you have a list of GL accounts which are used based on the business requirement. First one is acquisition and account assignment. Second one is retirement account assignment. Third one is revaluation account assignment. Fourth one is account assignment of cost portions not capitalized. Last one is balance sheet account. We will not be using everything. We will be using only the first 3 segments. First one related to acquisition account assignment. Second one retirement account assignment. Third one revaluation account assignment. The first 3 segments is what we will be using most commonly in real environment. Okay, now you see balance sheet APC. Yesterday we have listed something here, APC GL account. APC GL account is nothing but your asset main account. If you are talking about furniture and fixture, you need to put the GL account called furniture and fixture. Let us open our chart of account. Let me open FS00. I'll change company code to DEIN. In this company code, fixed assets category, inside the fixed asset, do you have, inside the fixed assets, we have an asset called furniture and fixtures. Okay, this is the GL account that we need to use. Copy this GL account number, furniture and fittings, go to the other screen, put this here. When you hit enter, you will get the account description here. Clear? Chart of account is DEGR, account determination is D1000, and depreciation area is 1, IFRS, leading ledger, INR currency. Your balance sheet APC account is furniture and fixture. Next one, if you have any down payment, you have to maintain this GL account. If you have any intercompany related things, you will have to maintain this. We will be updating this GL accounts when we execute these scenarios. Okay, I'll show you the error messages and then I'll give you the GL accounts, what you need to update, how those postings will happen. As of now, only one GL account is sufficient to run our scenario. Next one, retirement account assignment. You need loss made on asset retirement without revenue. This is nothing but loss without revenue is what? Scrapping, correct?
Yes.
You're retiring an asset without any revenue. This is called as a scrapping. So here you'll have to put scrap related GL account I'm just putting the text as of now just to make you understand. Second one is clearing account revenue from asset sale. So here you will be putting asset sale clearing GL account. Okay, third one, gain from asset sale is what?
Profit.
Gain from asset sale is nothing but profit on sale of asset. Loss from sale of asset is your loss from sale of asset. Last one, clearing revenue sale to affiliated company. If you have intercompany asset sales, then you will be maintaining clearing asset sale intercompany. Clear? Which GL accounts to be assigned here? I'm not assigning GL accounts as of now. I'm not assigning GL accounts now. I'm only assigning balance sheet account. Clear, right? I have assigned balance sheet account. In area number 1, if you click on this right next entry, you'll have to put balance sheet account for income Indian Companies Act also. This is for your IFRS. Click on right arrow, you get next entry. Are you getting anything? Any screen? If you click on next, nothing, right?
No,
So
only one.
next previous nothing is coming. Proceed to save this. Enter. Go one level back. Now select depreciation area 3, balance sheet account. Click on this details. Now you are on area number 3, Indian Companies Act, D1 ledger INR currency. Put APC account same. Clear? Other accounts we are not updating now. We will be updating after posting the asset transaction. Save this. Clear?
Yes.
Clear what we did? We are not assigning all the GL accounts at the beginning itself. We are trying to understand everything based on the exact scenario. Accordingly, we will add all the other settings. Next one, if you want to update depreciation related accounts, you need to select the respective depreciation area, select depreciation, click on this details. Okay, if you click on this details, it will ask you to put accumulated depreciation account, ordinary depreciation account, and other accounts related to depreciation. Here we will be updating the first segment, ordinary depreciation, special depreciation, unplanned depreciation. First 3 we will be using. If you are using revaluation, we will also be using revaluation related GL account determination. Next. So as of now, I'm not updating any GL account for depreciation also. I have only updated one GL account for acquisition. Go back. Clear? Clear assigned GL accounts? We are updating only one GL account as of now because for us to run this scenario, you need only one GL account. Next one, which is very important in S4 HANA only, technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Asset acquisition is only asset purchase or all the asset transactions?
Only asset purchase.
Asset acquisition represents only the asset purchase. In short, your technical clearing account in SAP S4 HANA asset accounting is used only for asset purchase related transactions, not for all the transactions. Only if you are purchasing the asset, the technical clearing account is used. Now, why and how this technical clearing account is used, we will practically see and understand when we are posting the asset purchase related entry. But for now, we need to maintain this GL account. I'm not updating the GL account now because I want you to see the error message and then update the GL account, so that we will understand the logics, connecting points, why these are all updated in S4 HANA system, what will happen if you don't update. I'm just opening the setting now. Define technical clearing account. Just open this drop down. Here it is asking you to put your chart of account, correct? Or if I put a new entries, this is asking us to put chart of account and then technical clearing account. We need to ensure you will put your chart of account, which is DEGR, and you will put the technical clearing account which you have created. So far we have not created. We will create one technical clearing account. We will assign it here while posting the asset acquisition entry. As of now, we are not updating this entry. Clear? We are not creating this now because our intention is to see all the errors, understand why the error is coming, what we are missing, how these errors are connected to your asset accounting. Go back. After this, straight away you go to general valuation. In general valuation, we need to open currencies. Inside the currencies, first you go to specify use of parallel currencies. Did we already do this as part of your basic asset accounting config org structure?
Yes, sir.
Right now it's time to revisit this. You need to open this once again. If you open here once again, how many areas we have created? 6.
Yes, sir.
We created 6 depreciation areas representing 3 accounting principle: Companies Act, Income Tax Act, and then IFRS. First 2 will represent IFRS local currency, IFRS group currency. Second 2 will represent Companies Act local currency, Companies Act group currency. Last 2 will represent Income Tax Act local currency, Income Tax Act group currency. Now here you are able to see area number 1 currency type is blank, area number 2 currency type is 30 group currency. But do you know what is the currency here? Are you able to see which currency is used here or no?
No, sir.
No, right? You are not able to see which currency is used here. Ignore the description. This is something that we have given manually. But next to currency type, it is giving blank and then 30. Now this 30, what is this 30? We do not know. You need to ensure these currencies are properly mapped. For that, just go one step back. On this same, you will find another setting on the above this. Define depreciation areas for foreign currencies. Open this. If you open the above setting, you will have to look at your company code. Your company code is appearing here, Dell Computers India Limited. Select this company code, double click on depreciation area currencies. If you double click on this, are these currencies correct or there are any corrections? If you see area number 1, area number 3, area number 5, these are INR. Is INR appearing there? 1, 3 and 5.
Yes, sir.
Right, which is correct. Area number 2 is your group currency. According to us, what is our group currency?
USD.
USD.
Dollar. What is appearing here?
Euro.
Euro. From where your group currency comes? From which screen that is updated?
Client level.
T
Client
code?
level SCC4.
SCC4.
SCC4. Let's go to SCC4. If you look at SCC4 and this client number which we logged in is 800. Against 800, what is the currency?
USD.
US dollar. Here, what is the currency?
Euros.
Euro. So you go here, change this to dollar manually and then press enter. Clear? Second one, for area number 4 also dollar put, and for area number 6 also this will be dollar. Press enter and then save it. Clear? Now all
Sir,
your
why is it
depreciation
not
areas,
getting updated automatically?
somebody would have changed in between, which is not reflected in this table. But the change of your group currency is not recommended when you're in a real environment. Okay, certain things
O-
we will be changing frequently in the test environment only. But ideally, once you decide that your group currency is dollar, in this client, irrespective of your company, company code, country, group currency remains dollar. It will automatically detect dollar. But if somebody is changing, system might update or it may not update, depending on the link in the backend.
Got it,
Okay.
sir.
Save this. Clear with the depreciation areas? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we ensured that you have 6 depreciation areas. Each depreciation area is properly aligned to the currencies that you are using for your company code. After this, just minimize general valuation. Straight away go to depreciation. What we are doing, we are coming in sequence. Org structure, we created asset classes. Integration with the GL account, we created GL accounts. General valuation, we ensured, because we created GL accounts. GL accounts are related to posting. Related to posting, you need to ensure your currencies are properly updated. After this, you need to go to depreciation. In depreciation, ordinary depreciation. If you go to ordinary depreciation, you have determine depreciation areas. This is again going to call the same thing. Your depreciation areas. Okay, go back. Straight away, we need to open in this valuation methods. If you remember, while creating the GL account determination, we have seen 3 segments: ordinary depreciation, special depreciation, unplanned depreciation. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? If you want to use unplanned depreciation, you need to ensure your depreciation areas are properly defined. This is ticked. This area can be posted for unplanned depreciation also. If this is unticked, this cannot be used for unplanned depreciation. This we will see later on. Similarly, special depreciation, you need to ensure, if you want to use this for special, you need to tick this. If you don't tick this, this area cannot be used for special depreciation. Okay, just go back. This we will see later on. Straight away, you need to go to valuation methods. Open this valuation method. In this, go to depreciation key. In this, calculation method. Now your complete depreciation is dependent on depreciation key. System is going to calculate depreciation based on depreciation key. Clear? Now this depreciation key is used. This depreciation key is used or is created based on certain prerequisites. The way you have asset class prerequisite, in the similar way you have depreciation key prerequisites. For depreciation key, you need base method, declining method, maximum method, multi-level method, period control method. First, we will create in short what is what, and then we will in detail understand after creating an asset. By looking at the numbers, we will try to revisit all this. We will practically understand what exactly each method is doing with your asset numbers. First, let us create base method. Open this. Click on new entries. How many accounting principles we have? How many accounting principles we have?
3.
Please, sir.
We have 3: Companies Act, Income Tax Act, IFRS. Now for these 3, are you going to use same depreciation methods or different depreciation methods?
Different, sir.
Different.
Different, right? According to IFRS, depreciation calculation is different. According to Companies Act, it is different. According to Income Tax Act, this is different. For each, you are going to create a different base method. So I'll create, let's say, I'll put DF furniture 01. Ignore the naming conventions because we are only creating for one furniture, one asset class to understand the logic. Once we understand the logic, we will define everything in detail in the KDF format. Let me put DEIN base method IFRS. Clear? This is DEIN base method for IFRS. Type of depreciation we have seen there are three types: ordinary, special, and then there is one more thing called interest. You will be using either ordinary or special tax depreciation. We are using this for ordinary purpose. Select ordinary. Depreciation method. Depreciation method. How you are going to charge this depreciation method? Now when we calculated this, we used only two accounting principles. First one is IFRS. IFRS is based on what? Percentage or life?
Percentage.
IFRS is based on percentage. From the depreciation method, check, do you find anywhere percentage?
No, sir.
You need to look from alphabet. Anywhere you
Yeah,
find
it's there.
percentage?
Stated percent.
Percentage
P.
from useful life.
This is life. Percentage is
P.
your P, stated percentage. Okay, stated percentage is depreciation based on percentage. Take this P.
B.
P. B is life. Not B. D is your life, useful life. We are not calculating based on useful life. We are calculating based on stated percentage. Clear? Enter. Clear with this? The remaining things we are not going to use as of now. Only the 3 points. Base method, and then type of depreciation, depreciation method. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Next one, I'll put DF02. Same description, base method for ICA, Indian Companies Act. This is also your ordinary depreciation. For Indian Companies Act, what we are doing? Life.
Useful life.
So here I'll put life is what? D. Percentage from useful life. Correct? Put D. Enter. Third one we have not defined as of now, but let us create third one also based on percentage only. Third one, I'll put DF03 IIT, Indian Income Tax. According to Indian income tax also, let us take based on percentage. For percentage, we were taking P, stated percentage. Correct? Agree? Clear with these three depreciation base methods?
Yes.
Clear everyone? Your base method is going to talk about what kind of a depreciation it is, whether it is ordinary depreciation or special depreciation. Point number 2, whether your depreciation is calculated based on useful life or based on percentage. Come back. After this, declining balance method. This is optional. We are not going to use declining balance method. Okay. This is exclusively used in US, Canada, certain specific countries, not in every country. This is limitedly used by specific countries, and we will be using the standard declining balance method only. Next one, maximum amount method. This is also not mandatory. This is also used based on certain countries. If you want to restrict depreciation by certain amount limit, then you will be using maximum amount method. This also we are not using now. We will execute one scenario for each of this in the upcoming sessions. At that time we will define this, but for now it is not required. Next one, multi-level method. This is important. Let me open multi-level method. 1 minute.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Sorry. Think. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. So could you please, tell us from the first?
Yeah, I'll go back. Okay. Now let's define multi-level method. Declining balance method, we discussed that we are not going to use it. This is country specific, especially used in US, Canada, certain countries, not in all the countries. Maximum amount method is used to restrict depreciation posting to a specific amount. Beyond this maximum amount, system is not going to charge depreciation. Multi-level method is important. In the multi-level method, you are going to decide how your depreciation to be charged. Straight line method percentage or WDV method percentage useful life is decided in your multi-level method. In multi-level method, you have to create 3 levels because you have 3 accounting principle based methods. In short, 3 type of depreciations. First one I have taken as DF1. Let me double click on this. I have taken DF1, description DEIN, furniture 15% straight line method for IFRS accounting principle. Next one, this is when I want this depreciation to be charged. I want this depreciation to be charged from ordinary depreciation start date. In majority of the cases, you will be using option number 2, ordinary depreciation start date. Select this, press enter. Depreciation by fiscal year we will not be using. This is used in case of year dependent fiscal year. Let's say current year you have different fiscal year start date, different fiscal year end date. Next year you are changing your fiscal year start and end dates. That is where you will be using depreciation by fiscal year. Otherwise we don't use it. Even in real time you are going to use only these three settings. Save this. Once this is saved, go inside your levels, left hand side, double click. You will find an option, add a new entry here. Now here you need to decide whether you are going to charge 15% entire the asset life cycle, or are you changing the depreciation maybe after 2 years or after 3 years. You may have certain requirements. Initial 2 years or initial 3 years I want to charge 15%. From 4th year onward or from 3rd year onward I want to reduce my depreciation from 15% to 10%, or from straight line method to WDV method. All those things are possible in your multi-level method, because you can have multi-level, which means multiple level of depreciation treatment within multi-level method. Here what we have, the first option is acquisition year. Now here if I put 2023, if I put 2023, system is going to treat, or system is going to apply this multi-level method for the assets which are purchased until 2023. But are you configuring asset accounting only for current year or for all the years?
All the years.
You are configuring asset accounting for all the years, which means you are configuring this at company level or at client level. If you purchase asset last year, current year, next year, future, anywhere, this should work as it is. For which to happen, you have to mask acquisition year, which means this multi-level method is valid for assets purchased until these many years. Currently you are in 2023, you are in 24, 25, 20, 50, 3000, any year, this is valid according to this now, correct? If you put double line, this is valid for lifetime. This is called as you are masking this acquisition year, double line. People will ask you, why do you put 9999 in multi-level method? Make sure you are able to answer. This is only for masking purpose. If you put any year, this multi-level method is valid until that year. Assets purchased till that year, it will be valid. If I put this as 2022, my settings will not work for my asset, because I am going to purchase my asset in 2023. System is going to look at this acquisition year. It will understand this method is applicable only for the asset purchased until 2022. If you purchase in 2023, this is not valid. So this setting is not going to work. To avoid such kind of things, you will always put masking by way of double line. Clear? Create session. Okay. So you need to mask it with double line. Next one, from acquisition year till how many years you want to keep this valid. Now just now we discussed one asset can have multiple depreciation treatment. First 2 years is something, next 3 years different way. You got that point? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So
Yes, sir.
what I was saying, let's say asset is purchased in 2023. and I have 2024. Let's say these many years. This is your year 1, year 5. So I may have a requirement first 2 years 15% and third and fourth year 10%, fifth year onwards 5%. This may be my requirement. Let's say you may get a requirement like this. Now according to this 15% is valid for how many years?
2 years.
First 2 years.
2 years. 10%?
Third and fourth.
How many years? This is valid for 2 years. This is valid for
25, 26.
2 years. And third one is valid for how many years? From here, this is fifth year onwards. So here you are going to put 99 or 999. Whenever you put this, this is valid from there until the exit or until the end of your asset life. Now this is called your multi-level method. If you talk about multi-level method, this is what represents your exact multi-level method. One asset having different level of depreciation treatment. First 2 years it will charge 15%. Next 2 years it will charge 10%. From fifth year onward, no matter how many years your asset will exist, it will be charged only 5%. Clear? Now according to our requirement, are we charging like this or are we charging 15% fixed?
15% fixed.
We are charging 15% fixed. Do we have multi-level or single level?
Single level.
Single levels.
You have single level depreciation treatment or depreciation calculation, for which come here from the purchase of your asset year, you put 999, which means until the end of the asset life there is a single treatment. This whenever you put valid years as 999, which represents it's a single level, not multi-level, it's a single level. Next one is period. Normally we don't use it. Period is normally used if you want to tell 2 year
12.
5 months. If you want to use 2 year 8 months, then you are going to use this as periods. Here you will put periods, but normally we don't use periods in real time. It is always year specific. At the end of the year you are going to change the treatment of depreciation, not in the middle of the year. In case if you wanted to put, then if you are talking about 6, you'll have to put 6. Okay, if you put 6, it will consider 999 years and 6 months. Whatever the months period you put, those many months it will consider.
We can put 12, sir. 12.
If you put 12, it will take 1 year. 12 periods is nothing but 1 year, no?
Okay.
Next one, before you put base value, you have to understand your depreciation logic. Now, according to IFRS, how we are calculating depreciation? 15% SLM straight line method. For straight line method, your depreciation percentage is applied on the same value every year. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
For straight line method, your depreciation value is always applied on same method. Before I update base value, I put percentage. What is our percentage? 15. You put 15 here. You'll get another question here on your interview. Where do you maintain a depreciation percentage? You tell that you created a depreciation key for 15%. Fine, I'm fine. All your questions, all your answers. Then I'm going to put a single question. Where do you maintain that rate of depreciation? So most of the people will get confused here. Make sure you're not getting confused. Be very clear, confident. Your rate of depreciation is always maintained in multi-level method. Clear? You see, here is where I am putting 15. This is only the description. So you'll put 15% or rate of depreciation always in the multi-level method. Now this 15% you need to apply on something. If you look at your manual calculation, this 15% depreciation per annum we calculated on something which is your 60,000. 60,000 is your APC value. This is called as your asset main value. Now here according to IFRS 15% straight line method, in year 1, 2, 3 every year you are going to get same depreciation because it is straight line method. According to straight line method, make sure your base value is always acquisition value. It is always acquisition value. In short, for any straight line method depreciation, you are going to use 01 acquisition value. Option number 2, if you have WDV method, you are going to use net book value 24. Only these two we will be using. The rest we will not be using even in real time. 1 for straight line methods, 24 for WDV methods. Since this is straight line method, select 01 and then press enter. The remaining two things we will be discussing later on based on a different scenario. Currently these two are not relevant to us. Click on save. This is your one multi-level method. Enter. Now let us create second multi-level method for Indian Companies Act. Next entry. Go back. New entry. I'll put DF2. I'll put Indian Companies Act here. This is useful life. How many years? 5 years.
15, 5 years, 5 years.
Indian Companies Act. Okay, useful life 5 years Indian Companies Act. Validity start date. This is always ordinary depreciation start date. Enter. Save this first. Now go to levels. Click on new entries. Acquisition year double line. This is just masking. You do not have any multi levels in this. For the entire life of the asset, you are going to charge fixed. So you will put validity as 999. Next one, period, you are not going to measure 2 year 3 months like that. If you have such requirement, you have to put period. Normally we don't put periods. Base value and then percentage. For useful life method, there is no percentage. Percentage is automatically calculated by dividing asset value with the life. Now here you are not going to maintain percentage because this is useful life method. For useful life method, what you will do, whenever you talk about useful life, that is straight away straight line method. For straight line method, we will be using 01 or 24.
01.
For straight line 01, let us pick 01 here. Since this is useful life method, I am not going to put percentage here. I'm not going to put percentage here. I'll just save this. Clear?
Yes, sir.
saved, go back. Next, third one, let us create for Income Tax Act. For Income Tax Act also we have created based on percentage only. Let me go back. New entries.
Sir, we have the standard, we don't use that.
Normally we don't use it. We will be creating different naming conventions to differentiate your client level things, because this is at client level setting. Standard things will also reflect when your user is opening the drop down. So you will have a different naming convention and you will be strictly instructing users to pick only with this naming conventions. Okay. Next one, DF3 furniture. I'll put, now this I'll put 20% WDV, 20% WDV IIT. Now we are covering the third one. In short, we are using all the three possible depreciation methods, correct?
Yes.
One asset you are using straight line, WDV, useful life. And then let me save this. And let's go inside the levels. New entries. Acquisition year as usual, 9999, years 999. These two are just masking. And percentage 20. This 20% straight line or WDV. This is WDV.
24.
For WDV, we have to use not 01. You'll have to use net book value. Select 24. Click on save. Go back. Clear? Period control methods also we are not going to use now. This also I will explain with different example, different scenario. We will be using standard period control method 001. You will be using standard period control method 001. Go back. Now, once you define all the calculation methods, then you will have to define your depreciation key. Let me open this depreciation key. We'll create depreciation key and then we will stop. Add new entries. You have three treatments. You need to create three depreciation keys. First one, DF01. I'll put DEIN furniture, 15% straight line method, IFRS. Now maximum amount method, cutoff value key I'm not assigning. I'll explain all these points with a different example. Now you need to click this depreciation to the day. If you are using this depreciation to the day, your period control method is invalid. Okay, if you tick this, period control method is not applicable. So that is why I said we will not be using period control method. If you want to use period control method, you should not tick this. If this is ticked, period control method is by default ignored. Clear? Enter. First save this depreciation key. So it's not saving without giving the assignments. Let's go inside the assignment of calculation methods. Add a new entry here. Depreciation type, you select, this is your ordinary depreciation. Phase, this is always the first one from the start of depreciation. Next one, base method. We have created 3 base methods, which is your DF. Now we are creating DEIN furniture 15% straight line method IFRS. You select base method for IFRS. Next one, declining balance, we are not using, this is not assigned. Period control method, you will be using 001, which is standard. Multi-level method, you need to assign. We have created D series, DF1. DF1 furniture 15% straight line method IFRS. After this, you need to select class. This has got no relevance. This is only for the information purpose. Whether you give, you don't give, does not make any difference anywhere. Since this is a straight line method, I'll take straight line method. Changeover method, changeover rate, we are not currently using, because if you want to change the depreciation key after a certain years, then you will be using this changeover. Normally these are used for machineries that are used in the plants, because they will be using single shift, double shift. Based on that, we will be using these functionalities, otherwise we don't use it. Simply save this now. Enter. First depreciation key is created. Go back. Now let us create second depreciation key, DF02. Second one was 5 years, useful life, Indian Companies Act. Depreciation to the date ticked. Go inside the assignment. New entries. Depreciation type is your ordinary depreciation. Phase is from start of depreciation. Base method, this is DF02, we created in the similar logic DF2. Indian Companies Act, DF02. Declining, we are not using. Period control method, standard 001 always. Multi-level method, DF02, we have created DF series, DF2. Useful life, 5 years, Indian Companies Act. Class, this is also part of straight line method. Enter. The remaining things we are not using as of now. Click on save. Second depreciation key is created. Go back. Now third depreciation key, DF03. This is your 20% WDV, Indian Income Tax Act. Here also same thing, depreciation to the day active. Go inside assignment calculations, new entries. Depreciation type is ordinary depreciation. Phase from start of depreciation. Base method DF03. Declining, we are not using. Period control method, standard 001. Multi-level method, DF3. Furniture 20% WDV, Indian Income Tax Act. Class, here I'll select declining balance depreciation. Enter. Save it. Now we have created 3 depreciation keys. We need to check the status of this depreciation case. Go back. If you look at depreciation keys from this list, 1, 2, 3, status is inactive. If this depreciation key is inactive, this cannot calculate your depreciation. Make sure you will activate your depreciation keys. Select your depreciation keys, click on activate icon on the top. Click this, click on continue. Now you will see 1, 2, 3 has been activated. Click on save. Continue. Clear? This is how we create 3 depreciation keys for your furniture. In your company code also you create the same settings, create asset class, number ranges, screen layout rules, multi-level method, base method, and then depreciation key. Clear, right? Whatever we have created now.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, because we have already created the depreciation names and the percentage in the multi-level methods. So why do we again, doing the same steps in depreciation key
Because
assignment
system will
level?
calculate depreciation for every single asset,
Yes, sir.
right? In asset master, you need to assign only one key. Now, whatever you have done, you have created base method separately, you have created period control method standard one, you have multi-level method separately. In short, you have 3-4 methods that are already configured.
Right, sir.
So in your asset master, you will not be able to assign these many keys. Instead, you will combine all these key combinations into one single depreciation key. This depreciation key will call all the methods that are configured and then assigned in your depreciation key.
Okay, sir.
Okay, whenever you are giving depreciation key inside the asset master, your depreciation key will determine all the associated methods: base method, your declining balance method, period control method, cutoff, whatever is there, everything is predetermined from your depreciation key. It's the combination of all the calculation methods.
Got it, sir. Sir, the second question is in the interviews, I think we get a question like,
You are not audible. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think
Sir, meanwhile,
alright,
can
I
I
think
ask a question?
on the asset,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes.
Sir, here we defined a depreciation key for calculation of depreciation as per Income Tax Act, right?
Right.
But altogether, there is a different configuration for calculation of depreciation as per IT Act, where
Correct.
we create all the grouping of the assets and define there the percentage of depreciation,
Right. There you will be using group asset concept.
right, sir?
Here we are not representing India. Here we are only representing the third accounting principle for reporting purpose only. We are not representing Indian Income Tax Act here. We just put Indian Income Tax Act, but this is a depreciation calculation for reporting requirement where there is no ledger.
Okay, when we extract reports, we also get the our reports on the basis of our third depreciation DF03 key. According to
Right.
that also.
Correct.
So then would not it make confusion? We are maintaining two type of depreciation as per ITX.
No, the description itself we have given as Income Tax Act, but you can give any description to it.
Okay,
It's only
we
the
created a
description that we
depreciation.
have. Right.
Sorry, sir, please continue. Up, you continue.
Yeah, we have just given that description as Income Tax Act as an accounting principle.
Okay,
But in India, for Income Tax Act, you have group asset concept. You'll have to group the assets. Let's say if you have under furniture, if you have some 500 furnitures, you'll have to group all these 500 furnitures into a single asset, group asset.
correct, sir. Correct.
And then at this group level, you have to charge depreciation. We are not doing that way. We have only given this description, but the logic behind creating this is to understand you can create a depreciation without a ledger, without posting also. These are commonly used in real environment for different calculation purposes, only for the reporting requirement.
Okay, then can we say that income tax as per IT Act, depreciation as per IT Act is part of our depreciation area. That's why we need to make a depreciation key for it.
Right. You may also
For each
have,
depreciation for each
yeah, you
depreciation
may,
area, we have to make a depreciation key.
correct. You are creating depreciation area because you want to calculate asset depreciation in a different logic, in a different mechanism, in a different method.
Okay, sir.
Let's say I want to have, now you are charging depreciation to ensure that at what level or at after how many years your asset will become zero. Let's say you have a computer which is expiring or which has a life of 5 years. Now you need to ensure at the end of a fifth year you need to replace your computer, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you need to arrange the funds accordingly,
Yes, sir.
right? Now for you to do this kind of things, you may be, according to the act, you may be charging this for 5 years, but internally you want to ensure that you have sufficient funds for your internal reporting purpose. You are not posting anything, just to know what level of funds you need to reserve for depreciation for replacement of assets. You may need another depreciation calculation. This is purely internal according to your own
Oh,
calculation process. I want to charge, let's say 30%. According to IFRS, this may be 15%. According to your Indian Companies Act, this may be 5 years. But according to your company policy, your internal policy, you may want to charge differently. But practically, if you are using the accounting principles, you are using it for 5 years or 6 years. But practically, you may be using it for 8 years. You also want to show to calculate your provisions internally within your organization for your internal liquidity forecast or for your cash inflow outflow forecasting. You need different calculation logics. Every time you cannot take all the assets and then calculate the numbers, correct? You want system to give the numbers according to your desired format, your desired calculation logic.
yes, sir.
Create one more depreciation. Don't put any ledgers to it. It's only for your calculation purpose. So whenever you want to know according to a different reporting requirement, maybe internal or external, just put that depreciation area, run the report, you'll get all the values predefined according to your configuration.
Okay, okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hello.
Yes. No, you're not audible if you're talking. Any other questions? Alright, if no questions, let me stop this recording.